Batman is on WEBTOON. Batman is on WEBTOON. Dude, this blew my mind. WEBTOON is collabing with DC Comics, the people who make Batman and Superman, and they're making their own Batman comic on WEBTOON. It's out right now. You can read it. The comic is called Batman Wayne Family Adventures, and it's basically just a comic about the Bat family from the DC universe just kind of chilling and doing whatever they want to do. WEBTOON wanted me to talk about this comic, and I'm really glad because this comic, there's only 3 chapters out, but it's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Like, there's not too much to say about it right now because, once again, there's only 3 chapters out, but even from the little that I've read and the little that is available right now, there is so much to enjoy. Like, it's just a comic about all the people related to Bruce Wayne in the DC universe, you know? Like, what more could you want? Now, I know what you're thinking, right? I don't know much about the DC universe, or I don't know much about the Batman lore, or I've only seen the movies, and that's totally fine because it's the same for me, but I can already tell that Batman Wayne Family Adventures does not require that at all. It really is just a fun read about these characters, and they introduce them all to you. Like, I didn't know who half of these people were, right? I know who Batman was, and I know who Alfred is. That's it. But it doesn't matter. Like, once again, like, it's really just a fun way to experience some of the Batman characters, but in a new style, in a new light, you know? In a fun way, where they're getting into a fight over one of Alfred's cookies, you know? Or they're making fun of the fact that their mansion is surrounded by booby traps, or they missed which bank was the like, I don't want to spoil all of it, but like, it really is just a fun way to experience some charming elements of this universe that many people may not be aware of because of the fact that it's only in like comic book form or whatever. Which actually brings me to the art, which is very fun. It's very colorful, very cartoonish, you know? It reminds me of like sort of a comic book style, but much more like cartoonish. And I think it only helps emphasize the fact that this really is a fun, relaxing comic that you can just pick up and read. It doesn't matter if you don't really remember exactly what happened last episode. Like, it doesn't require that, you know? And I think the art just only adds to that sort of emphasis that it's trying to go for. Despite the fact that I didn't know who most of the characters were, they're still very charming, you know? Like, I genuinely like the designs, I like their personalities. You've got like 3 different types of Robin iterations, right? You've got Robin, who's Damian Wayne, you've got the Red Hood, and then Red Robin. I know that can get confusing, but they look very different and distinct, and they're all very fun. You've got Cassandra Cain, Orphan, you've got Duke Thomas, who's moving in. He's sort of like the way you were introduced to the mansion. He's Signal. Barbara Gordon, who's the daughter of, Jim Gordon, the police officer, and she helps them from afar, but her dad doesn't like know about what she does. So there's a lot of setup here for some really interesting developments and maybe some character development and some story. But once again, I get the feeling that that's not going to be like the main emphasis, and I think that's totally fine. Like, I don't think we need every story to have crazy action and crazy character development, because like I said, it really is just fun. I've said fun so many times because it is. That being said though, I do want to say that there are a couple of panels that get me kind of excited and make me think. I kind of wonder if they will go down a route of like some action being present, because like there is some action even in the 3 chapters that are out, but there's a couple of panels that kind of got me excited. I was like, dang, these characters actually look super awesome, you know? And it makes me think that they will also get into some interesting story developments as well. I mean, of course there's gonna be story, but I mean as far as like action goes, or maybe a couple of villains are gonna show up, I just don't think it's not gonna be dark, if that makes sense. It's gonna be in some kind of way that isn't like bloody or gruesome or dark or anything like that. It's gonna be in a light that makes the comic still enjoyable to all readers. Here's my advice, just read it, because the chapters are so short, and that's sort of would be one of my complaints, but I actually think it's a strength to the comic, because you can just pick it up, spend 5 minutes, and you've read like 3 chapters. Like, it took me 10 minutes to read all 3 available chapters, you know? Like, that, it barely takes any time at all. So really, you're not risking anything. You're not delving into an 100 chapter story. Just read 1-2 chapters and see if you like it, because worst case scenario, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Like, seriously, they're really easy and quick to read. So if you want to read Batman on WEBTOON, you can do so right now. Batman Wayne Family Adventures. The link is down below. I'll put a link down there and in the comments as well. A huge shout out to WEBTOON for sponsoring this video. I was already gonna read this just because, once again, Batman is on freaking WEBTOON, you know, that's crazy. But I'm super happy that I got to cover it on the channel, because it really is just a lot of fun. WEBTOON has all kinds of comics. If you're not on there already, what are you doing? It's so easy to use the app or you can go online. Like, there's so many different ways to read the comics, and there's so many different kinds of comics. So check out the links down below if you want to find out more about not just Batman Wayne Family Adventures, but just Webtoon in general. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content just like this, and with that, I'll see you guys in my next Webtoon review. Take care.